Gears up for wildfire season, so is this area's biggest utility company, Avista. Just this week, a DNR report found it was a tree limb that fell onto an Avista power line that caused last year's devastating Babb Road fire. And that fire that all but destroyed the towns of Malden and Pine City.
So tonight, I asked Avista what is being done now to get ready for what could be another severe wildfire season.
We've implemented recently a comprehensive wildfire resiliency program, which is really setting our system up to operate safely during the hot, dry summer months. And that program includes enhanced vegetation management. We also have been implementing a grid hardening program, which is making our system more resilient for these hot, dry summer conditions.
Does it worry you when you hear in mid-May that we're already projecting a severe weather wildfire season?
We've seen the impacts of some recent wind events even this year. Here we're seeing much drier conditions, so those are a concern.
And how much have things changed for you guys behind the scenes when we think about the last 10 years of the wildfire picture here in Washington, especially Eastern Washington?
Yeah, we're seeing changes really across, you say, Eastern Washington. Most utilities are responding to this kind of increased understanding of wildfire risk. We saw this happening in California about 10 years ago, and a much more substantial response in the Northwest in the last 3 years.
Has there been any talk about the possibility of rolling blackouts?
The rolling blackouts are a little bit different because that's a capacity related issue. Typically, you'll see public safety power shutoffs utilized when there is extended wind periods. So they have the Diablo winds and the Santa Ana winds. And then California has drought conditions that are more severe than we're seeing in the Northwest. We've developed a wildfire resiliency program that is specific, but it's really specific to our region. And we currently do not have public safety power shutoffs as part of our operating strategy. We go into summer operating conditions. We refer to it as dry land mode, but what it does is it disables reclosing on our circuits. What customers typically see is that their lights will go out, and a few moments later, the lights might come back on, and the system operated safely just like it's supposed to. But during the summer season, to make sure that we're operating at the safest way possible, we disable that reclosing feature. So unfortunately, customers may see a little bit longer restoration times, but we're making sure that we do that for their safety. We are seeing the drought conditions similar to what we saw last year, but we have not seen much moisture this spring. The threat of the impacts of this drier condition it's a reality.
Well, I'm sure this is something that utility companies all across the West Coast especially are kind of grappling with right now, right?
Well, and we've certainly seen what happened in California and how it can get out of control so quickly. So obviously they're all trying to do whatever they can at this point beforehand to make sure that it never does get to that point. So I thank them for making him available and talking with us about this really important topic that all the utility companies are certainly
And fingers crossed we don't have a bad wildfire season, right?
Yes, absolutely. But we know we needed the rain so that we